The current season of Australian Survivor is proof that the show has bounced back from its abysmal Blood v Water season last year. Blood v Water was the 7th season of Network 10's revival of the Aussie version of the show. Borrowing from the American franchise's previous Blood vs. Water twist, the season featured pairs of loved ones competing on opposite tribes to begin the game. Unfortunately, Australian Survivor Blood v Water was a low point for the show. It got off to a decent start, in part due to the presence of American Survivor legend Sandra Diaz-Twine, but the latter half of the game was very poorly received. The post-merge game was criticized for its unbalanced editing and weak gameplay by a number of contestants. Winner Mark Wales played a dominant game, but the season was entirely predictable and repetitive. Australian Survivor Heroes v Villains has resurrected the show following the abysmal Blood v Water season. Australian Survivor Heroes v Villains was tasked with restoring the quality of the show, and it has succeeded in every way possible. With a cast of dynamite characters, including legendary returning players and some competitive new castaways, the season has been one of the most memorable and exhilarating Survivor seasons ever. Heroes v Villains has featured unprecedented and dynamic strategic gameplay and has seen several players emerge as not only Australian Survivor icons but as some of the greatest Survivor players in the world. Australian Survivor fixed its bad Blood v Water editing. One of the most important changes Australian Survivor made after Blood v Water had to do with its editing. In that season, only a handful of the 24 contestants were shown to be in contention at all. Some of these highlighted players became overexposed, while others were practically invisible. In post-game interviews, many of the players expressed that Josh Milgate was a major threat to win the game, but that didn't translate into the edited episodes, which made Mark's coronation seem inevitable long before it happened. Heroes v Villains has not had those issues. Some players certainly get more screen time than others, but the season has done an exceptional job of telling the story of nearly every contestant on the season, making many of them seem like they have a solid chance of winning the game. This is a refreshing change of pace for the show because it makes the endgame unpredictable. The stakes are much higher when nearly every player is a central character in the narrative of the season, rather than just a select few. Additionally, the cast of Heroes v Villains is much more competitive than its lackluster predecessor. The entire game has been a series of power struggles and political maneuvering, with notable players like King George Mladenov, Hayley Leake, and Simon Mee all jockeying for position in the game while making electrifying moves and catastrophic mistakes. The season's gameplay has been a far cry from the stagnant alliances on Blood v Water and is strong evidence that Australian Survivor is back in peak form. Australian Survivor airs Sundays and Mondays on Network 10.